Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Railroads Online, where in today's episode, we are going to be trying to make some money. That's going to be our main thing. Um, but we're also going to connect up this part of the lumber mill here back around to the main line. Or, actually, this isn't really the main line, but back up to the line that connects to the main line. So if we go into our map here, we can see we're going to do a loop around here, connect it back right at this switch, so we'll swoop around, which of course connects all the way back to here where we have our freight depot, which connects itself to the logging camp up here. So we're going to build out that loop, like I said, and then I'll be running some logs from up here all the way down here, back and forth, and probably until the sawmill is full. But I'm not sure how much I'm going to do. But in general, this will probably be a little bit more of a relaxed episode. Probably a good bit of commentary while we're just, driving. Well, I don't know what the technical term is for conducting the train. Probably a good bit of commentary while we're conducting the train. And yeah. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with building. Whoa, that's a weird shape. A roller coaster straight into the water. This is such pretty water. Anywho. Yeah, no, that's not quite right, I'm afraid. Demolish you. Thank you. I would love to be able to utilize these pieces at some point, but I feel like I've never really had a good use for them, unfortunately. They're really cool, though. I would love the idea of using one of them. Oh, hey, they added another turntable. They already had these two before, but this one looks new. Wow. I'll have to install one of those at my main hub down at the freight depot. That may be something else we can do today. As a matter of fact, I might make that today's episode. Finishing up here and renovating our area of the freight depot. And then I might just try to run logs in between episodes. Maybe. I'm not sure. We'll see how this pans out. I have a commitment in about an hour, so we'll see. Yeah, well, I don't know. This is the non-freehand mode, so maybe it'll be better. I am not sure. Why are you the way that you are, game? Doesn't have to be so complicated. That's a bit sharp, but it's not too bad. Not as sharp as some of the other curves around my railway here, so. Yeah, that's not bad. This build mode does make it a lot easier, but at the same time, it's kind of crazy looking. Alright, then we can switch back to regular rail here. I do like how that looks, that style of rail, bridge that we used. Eventually we will have to renovate this to include being able to stop here for the... What are these? Planks and whatever else. Lumber and beams. So eventually we'll have to change it up to where there's a way to access here. But for right now... Actually, I can probably... I might be able to go ahead and do that. If we do a switch right... And go ahead and connect this side... over to here for right now, because we might have to change that up depending on how this goes, because that is a super sharp turn. Let's see. See, the issue is it would be extraordinarily difficult to connect over to here. See, like that is literally not possible unless you have a tiny wheelbase. So That would be crazy seeing that on a real railroad. It's a tongue twister. Try saying that 10 times fast. Real railroad, real railroad. Nope, can't do it already. I am trying to think what would be a better way to do this. I was thinking maybe come from here, loop around to here, which will be easy, and then, ooh, maybe I could do a crossover piece for that. Put maybe like a crossover piece and loop around, connect back here. That's an idea. That is an idea. I'm gonna try to do that. Go ahead and get rid of that piece of track. Not sure if I'm going to want to keep this switch, but I probably will. Because I will need a main loop back around from over there whenever I don't... Dang it. Oh well. No, I don't want to go that way. There we go. And over to here. Oop. Trying to think of what I'm doing here, because I'll have the main line, or main part of this. Oh my gosh, really? It's not gonna work. Oh no. I have to do this a lot less efficiently. Go away. I'm gonna go up in the air to think this out. So we have a line that connects through here. Oh no. We have a line that connects through here. It takes maybe like a crossover piece or maybe just a regular bridge over and then loops back around. Which means we have two lines. One from just a log mill and one that loops back over that will be connecting back to here. But another one of those will also be taken up, which means that I should do either I should do another switch, because like that one right there that the crosshairs on will be going to here. So the next one to its left will be connecting from the main line to the sawmill, connecting the regular loop is what I'm trying to say, and then the other one will be the comeback around for this whenever you're going to this section. I think that's so we'll need another switch over here. If we do just out of curiosity, what does a switch look like right here? Holy crap. Maybe that could work. Like that. Yeah, sure. Why not? You're not gonna work, are you? Well, if you do work, you're gonna do something super weird. Dang, I hate how that looks. This needs to come in at a sharper angle. Well, not a sharper angle, just a different angle. Nice little tune. Unfortunately, all this music is copyrighted. I might have mentioned that in the last episode, but eventually I will have to switch to using my own music, because I cannot play this. Well, I'm not monetized at the moment, so it doesn't matter, but hopefully eventually I will be, and whenever that happens, I will want to be able to make money. So I'll have to do something about the copyrighted things. Excellent. Excellent. This might be a whole episode on its own, is just working out all this log lumber mill infrastructure. Unless it looks so laggy. Anyway. So I have two options, more or less. I either do a crossover piece right here, like at the climax of this turn, where it won't really matter if it's straight. Or I do a bridge over, loop around behind this island, and come around that edge. There's not a ton of advantage to the crossover piece, I just think it would be cool. So, we'll see how a regular bridge looks for now, and then we might change it up from there. Because I want to go over this rail. It'll probably be easier to use the non-freehand mode for this one, because I need it to go up. But I can really only do it at like a 2% gradient, and I don't even think that'll be enough for the train to clear. The train that's going along the bottom track to clear, that is. There is always the option of backing out and taking this loop. You know, that looks terrible. I don't know. Crossover piece might actually be better. I just have to kind of figure out the logistics of using one. Not a huge deal though, not a huge deal at all. Why would you... Why? Why would you do that? Why do these always point down? Just... don't. I feel like that might be the best I can get it. I don't know. Maybe I can get it with the non-freehand mode. Go away. Why? No, I don't want that. Delete. There are definitely some things in this game that are still pretty janky compared to what they could be if they were refined, but I mean, even if you go to the Steam store, you'll see my review of it is negative because of an error I was having for so long where the game would crash every few minutes. And that was a whole issue, and I had to change my game version and delete and reinstall my graphics drivers just to be able to play the game. So that was not very fun, as you can probably imagine. Oh, that's bad. I didn't realize how tight that was going to be. I also don't know why that's like so wonky. You see what I'm talking about? Like that is not a smooth turn. It's fine. If I just delete all of this and change it up to where it's a wider turn, maybe that'll work better. I hate how it automatically puts it at like what's the word? Like a declining grade. I'm sure there's a better way to say that. I'm just struggling to word at the moment. And also, I didn't realize, why are all these turns so sharp? I mean, I think I have my physics setting to like casual or something, but still, I'm still a little worried about it. Okay, well that's that. And now I have to manage to get this up and over here. Really, I have to get it. Yes, I understand that these aren't producing resources because I literally haven't connected to half of them yet. Over half of them yet. I mean, we look at the map. There's so many that I have not done anything with. Sometimes this game. Sure. That's horrible. No way the train's gonna be able to make it up that. Not a chance. See, the good thing about the other map, I forget if it's Lake Valley or Pine Valley that I'm thinking of. I think Lake Valley. The good thing about that was the amount of room you had to work with at the lumber mill was just massive. Also, I'm gonna do all this with a non-freehand mode, because if I do it with a freehand mode, it's just gonna look like a roller coaster. And I'll be able to know the exact gradient better. It will still tell you on the freehand mode, it's just I don't really trust it that much, so. I'm gonna need to turn real sharp and go up. 4% is a rough gradient. Can I get away with, I can get away with 3.5. Maybe. That is looking a little rough. It would be interesting if you could like terraform in this game, if you just paid like a lot of money. Which I get that partially defeats the purpose, but at the same time, sometimes I just wish I could lower the ground by a foot or two for situations like this. I didn't realize how difficult it was going to be to get this exactly like I wanted it. Because unless I go up to like 6.5%, anything above 3 is pushing it. That's 5.3%. Get out of here, freehand mode. I don't know. I do not know. Immediately there's that incline right there. Could just do that. Maybe if I get enough speed I can just ramp over the hill. I'm gonna get this. But I'm not gonna make y'all sit through that, so I'll be right back. Okay, I decided to go with a different plan. Because to cross over the mountain, or the hill, I feel like was just not gonna work. So I kind of changed it up. And I'm using a piece that I find really interesting, the 45-degree crossover. Where basically this track will continue on to the bank and connect over there, but so will this one. It's just, this way it doesn't have to be at as sharp of an angle. It can go all the way around at a similar angle to this one, and they meet back around in the same place. And that should work fine. So, we are going to connect those up real quick, and really that should be the final step in this. And then I'll probably go do a little bit more at the freight depot, and that'll probably be it for this episode. I might try to run some logs in between episodes. I'm not quite sure yet. Gonna have to see what my next few days are looking like. I won't be able to record for the next like week and a half, so I'm getting a bunch of videos pre-recorded. So trying to get all that taken care of, which is why I might not have a ton of time to spare, unfortunately. This is no good. But I can afford to go up at a 1% gradient, so it's not that big of a deal. I just, like, this is a section that, can I lower it by a foot for like $200 or something. Yes, I know people are gonna be like, what's the point of the game? I know, it's, you build a railroad, but they terraformed everything back whenever they were building all the railroads, especially by hand. Like, I mean, they had to build along the landscape, but that didn't mean they couldn't perhaps adjust the landscape ever so slightly. But you know, I'm sure that would be very difficult to do. So I get it. I get it. I understand why they haven't implemented that. If that's the reason they haven't implemented that, I don't know. Maybe they're not doing that for a different reason. I don't know. After all, I'm not a member of the development team. Or am I? Just kidding. I definitely am not. But that would be pretty cool. I don't think the train's gonna make it through that. It's literally inside the ground. Okay, time for a little bit of adjustment, to say the least. Somewhere over... Forgive my singing. I know it's horrible to hear. Okay. Oh. I don't know. It might make it. No, I don't know. Maybe. You never know until you try, right? That would be funny. A railroad, but you're only allowed to have like 10-foot sections that actually connect, and then for the rest of them you just kind of have to roller coaster it. I really just did that again, didn't I? Trusting the game a little bit too much here. The game and my hand-eye coordination. I don't really know why that's like that. I honestly could not tell you. But it's probably fine. And now we connect around to the last part. So I'm just gonna have that kind of there. And then we can go back up here. Connect everything around here. Alright, that should work. And we can switch to regular tracks. This video has taken a minute to record. It's only 20 minutes long so far, but dang. I've been thinking at how to do this track for a minute. Anyway, I'm just trying to deliver good quality, so that's all that really matters. I imagine this isn't going to work like I want it to, but yeah, no. Okay, well, worth a shot, right? I can at least connect this to this point. It's also probably good not to do massive sections like that, because whenever you inevitably have to go back and change them, won't be good. Luckily, these will all be sections that I'm going down and not up, because if there were ones I was having to go up, it would be a little bit more perilous. For the train, of course. Just because of the gradients, mostly. They're all a little wonky. None of them are too bad, though. Like, I wouldn't be incredibly concerned on any of these gradients, even if I was going up them. So most of them at most are 1, 2, maybe 3%, but anywho, that'll do. So we have our system in place here. I'm very happy with how it turned out. I'm not sure if it's all going to work, but, you know, we're going to find out eventually, one way or another, so we will see. But I'm very happy with how that turned out. No, just not. Doesn't that just look nice? I mean, it doesn't really, if we're being honest here. It kind of looks ugly. But, it's interesting, to say the least. You know, if you run a multiplayer server, it would be really funny to mess with somebody by just while they're conducting, just, you know, doing a little switcheroo on them. Anywho. You know, it says right click to close. You cannot close using right click. They lied. I guess let's try to take this main loop here and get back to the freight depot. I can drop out of build mode here. Oh no, I don't mean to do it so far away from the engine. Oh well. I'm sure this thing's going to be low on fuel, so... Yeah, 0%. Luckily the firebox held some heat. Not enough, though, probably. So off we go. Yes, I know the tender's low on water, but... it's fine. This is the test of our system here. At least this part. I probably won't get around to messing with the rest of it today. That'll probably be one of those I'll cross that bridge when I come to it type deals. So far everything seems to be going well. The entire thing is on a 1% gradient, by the way, and you can kind of see, or you can kind of tell, obviously just by looking at it, but also just by the train speed, you can tell that it has a slightly harder time going up on that side than it does coming around this side. Yeah, obviously it's having a little bit of a harder time getting up to this point. I could probably rework this to be a little bit easier, which I'm sure I'll do at some point. I really hope it makes it over this section. I forgot about this little part right here. Ooh. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We made it. Perfect. Oh. Oh, that was just going up. Oh. Nope, it wasn't. No, I don't want to open the hatch. Go that way and... you do that. What? What happened? I was not paying close enough attention, apparently. I'm a little bit confused as to what transpired there. It's this track right here that we were coming off of. We were coming... right? Yeah, because that one leads up there. So we were coming down this track. I guess it's just that kind of weird angle there. So I don't know. Let's rework a couple parts of this while we're here. I know we literally just built it, but let's try to fix it already. I do wonder. Okay, so that's snow. Cool, cool, cool. I don't know what the difference between these three are. Obviously, there's one at the end that has no dirt under it, or gravel or whatever. But I don't know the difference in the three that do have gravel. That part is unknown to me as far as why they're considered different things. Gonna have a little bit more curve in it this way, but you know, it's okay to have a little curve in it, if you know what I mean. Alright, this seems better. We're having a lower to the ground approach or whatever. Not that low to the ground. By low to the ground, I did not mean inside the ground. Thank you very much. That's all fine. Why? Why do you do that? Sometimes the auto builder in this game, or the link builder, whatever you want to call it, doesn't really make sense to me. That's still rough, but I think it'll be a little better, hopefully. Let me connect it back over to here, and hopefully that'll work better. Our entire railway is a work in progress. So I don't make everything perfect first go, because I'll have to change it anyway, more than likely at some point. So it's really not worth going through every single time and making things perfect originally just to have to change them later on. But I do try to do a little bit of future proofing with like going ahead and connecting to where those planks are. It's just there's not always a ton of purpose in doing that if you know that there's a likelihood that things will change. Like here, I think it's very possible that things will change some. So I obviously have not made everything perfectly as it is now. I've just made it to where it'll work efficiently and quickly. At least generally so. Okay, that's off. I'm sure you're probably on. Yeah, and you're on. But now we can go forward. Yay, leave. This will actually be our first time going up this track. We went down it and spun off the rails. Well, we were going like 45 down a section that probably should have been capped at like 35. So we probably had it coming if we're being real here. But, you know, that's okay. Live life on the edge, as they say. I think I cleared all the trees and everything from this line, so pretty sure we'll be good on that. Moving along here. I do really like that they edited the map to where you can change switches, and like this will be useful. Where you can change switches and see, especially where you can see that your rails on the map. That's incredibly useful. Also helps show how tight this loop here at the lumber mill is versus how it really like should be. It's kind of funny. Anywho, I guess we should actually pay attention now. I say as I get out of the cabin of the train and just stand precariously on the edge. It is quite interesting how, you know, conductors back in the day could literally just run ahead of their trains to change switches and stuff. Just because of how relatively slow, I mean, they were really fast for that time, but I mean, you could have a train transporting 20 cars and just moving 15 miles per hour down the rail. And you could slow down a little bit, whatever, and have someone run down and change the switch for you, speed back up, and just keep going. Which is just, it's crazy to me. I mean, imagine having to get out of your car. Imagine having to keep your car rolling, but you have to get out of it to change the light every time you're at an intersection to be able to be green, to be able to go. Like, it's crazy. It's incredibly fascinating, though. And then, of course, it became more automatic with, what were they called? Like switch boxes, where the people would sit in and change the switches based on what trains went through. And then eventually, of course, it became all automatic. Well, more or less, at least. In a lot of parts of the world. It's just really interesting. But, anyway. I'm just gonna enjoy the scenery. It is really a truly a beautiful game. Looks like we're almost there. How very nice. And I'll do a little bit of work at the freight depot, and then I'm gonna have to end this episode off. But I'll probably do a turntable real quick, and maybe an engine shed, and then that'll probably be where I end off for this episode. But we got time. Uh-oh. This is about to be bad. Yep. Well. I don't know why I didn't get all the trees off this section of rail whenever I built it, but I guess it just slipped my mind. Evidently, at least. Yeah, train falls, or 2 trees fall on the tender. I'm sure it would be perfectly undamaged. That happened in real life as well. Just kidding, of course. Like I said, casual physics. I think. I was about to say, is it not going to re-rail it on the rails? Because if so, that seems like a kind of, poor design. So we should be connected back. We can turn that brake off. Yeah, I was about to say, those other 2 should still be 0 since they never technically derailed. Maybe one day I'll learn my lesson about going at full regulator down sections that I probably shouldn't. But not today. Random question, has anybody seen Black Panther 2? And is it good? I know it's out of left field, but I was just thinking about that for some reason. I do tend to think about very random things, so... I don't like those sounds that are being made. Hey, we're home! We'll try to kind of gradually slow down here. Or not. I bet you probably have to do that if you want it. I have a suspicion that that doesn't actually work, because I bet they don't calculate the breakage until you let go. I'm not sure about that though. I don't know. I am unsure as to the validity of that claim. What do we have in this direction on the map? Just so I know how much space I'm working with. So if you go this way, you get to the cattle farm not too far away. But pretty much all this area is free. I just need to have one switch, essentially. I'm pretty sure. Although I might go this way to the smelter and just... because that all looks pretty steep. But it looks like I could come... do this way, maybe? Or maybe it would be better to go all the way around and hit the refinery on our way. Anyway, I'm not sure, but I'm just going to build over on this left section and hope that it'll be fine. Well, this is going to be pretty simple. We'll probably want a firewood. What all do we have already installed here? Let's see. We have a water tower, and that's it. So we might want to add some other facilities. I could also do everything off this split instead. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do. Keep going to the wrong section here. Props. Okay, facilities. I think I'm going to want an engine shed, mostly just for looks. I'll probably put the turntable in front of that. But I will want a well, maybe I'll just get a wood rick, but I'll probably do a firewood facility and a sand house, because it'll look cool. So, let's go ahead and build this out a little bit, just so I have a little bit more space to work with. I think I might be losing my voice just like a little bit. I don't know. Why is it trying to place in such a weird line? Yeah, I understand the angle thing. I just don't know why it's like that. Maybe if I... Oh, okay. So I guess the idea is this, like, is that this goes at like the end of a line, maybe? Like you kind of have it like that, and then maybe a thing coming up on the right to be able to deposit logs. I'm trying to think. I could have this, like one split off of this. So at the end of this, it dies. It's the end of that rail, but a switch a little bit further back to be able to get around to where logs are. I could do like that. Rotate a little bit, put it like that so I can get logs from two sides. Questions. Because theoretically I would eventually have to deliver logs to this. Which means I have to put some kind of system in place to be able to refill it with logs whenever it inevitably needs it at some point in the near future. But then I also will have to be able to turn around with log cars, which I don't really want to do, so I'd probably just reverse anyway. So I might. It seems weird, but I might try to go like that. Do a three-way switch. One way leading directly in. One way leading to the side of. And have it like this. Just trying to make sure that everything I'm doing here is going to make sense. Because I will have to deliver logs to this, apparently, to get it to work, so. Does this take any type of wood? No, it just takes logs. I don't know why there's cordwood and planks and beams. Let's do a bumper. That's not what I wanted. What do these different types of bumpers look like? Oh, just snow. What am I stuck on? Uh-oh. That doesn't seem right. Crap. I didn't want it to go that far back. Okay, what if I just put it where I want it up here? Alright, there we go. And now, connect like that, and connect back to this. Great, cool. And demolish this and connect it to where I want it to be. And I'm not going to have this connect to anything. I'm just going to kind of have it on its own, and then I'll back up if I need to. What did it just say it connected to? What? So we'll have a little extra room here. We might get eventually like a porter to be like a little yard engine to be able to run with a couple small cars to go get logs or something if need be. But anyway, there's that. Very basic. In the meantime, for facilities, we will have a wood rick, which kind of sounds like a medieval name, but this will just be kind of as a temporary substitute for a firewood depot. And of course it comes with 0 out of 100, because why wouldn't it? Whatever. By the way, I forgot to mention that you can sell logs to the freight depot. You just have to connect a rail around to this side. But, I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to do that, because it seems a little bit cheaty. But at the same time, it is a feature of the game, so it's not like it's a big thing. The only issue is I have to find a way to connect. I would have to take a switch off of up there, and then come around this side, but I don't know what I would do about connecting back. So that would definitely be a detail that I would have to figure out. But, that's more of for whenever we fill up the lumber mill. Which means, not a detail for right now. I do also need to look at, if I want to put a sand house, I do have to put that somewhere around here. But it looks like it's a lot simpler to deal with than the firewood facility, so that's very nice. Okay. I want a large engine shed just for vanity's sake. It'll be a long time before I have 4 engines, more than likely, but looks really cool. Okay, I'm definitely going to want a big old turntable. Unfortunately, I'm not sure. Ooh, wow, that was really simple. If I hold this, is it gonna align with all these properly? It's painfully slow, but that aside. It looks like it's gonna work. Cool, very nice, very nice. And now I just gotta connect it back to this main area over here. Awesome. We can also just use this as a regular turnaround for one of our trains. No problem. So that's cool. Final thing I want to add is the sand house. Sand house with foundation. That looks like the regular sand house, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Alright. Well, that's super cool. We have our engine housing, stuff for firewood eventually, and our sand house. So that's great. I don't really like yeah, that's a nice view. Great, cool. Well, I think with that, we're going to end off today's episode. So, I thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.